to another episode of BLG News for the week of August the 19th. I'm Marcus Boston.
And I'm Renee Boston.
And we have a very good show set up for today. And Renee, I think we should just jump right on into it. The first thing I want to talk about today...
That was me jumping.
Oh, okay. The first thing I want to talk about today is what is going on not only this weekend but into next week, and that is the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington with Dr. King.
He won't be there.
Well, no, Dr. King won't be there, of course, but to relive the dream.
Right.
And
it's 50th anniversary.
The 50th anniversary of reliving the dream and the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington. And to give us more insight on that, I'm going to turn it over to Renee, because Renee, you are very active in this.
Right. I'm actually the an assistant deputy chief of staff for Patricia Rozier, who is the president of the National Bar Association. And the National Bar Association is actually one of the co-sponsors of the march this coming Saturday. And
for those who are participating in a lot of the events that are going to take place this Saturday and then into next week, you want to talk about some of the things that are going to be taking place this week?
Well, there's a couple of different things. I'll go start out further and move my way back in. Next Wednesday is August 28th, and that is the actual, or just for you,
right,
the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington. That event is sponsored and held by the March on Washington Committee. There is a series of seminars throughout the day at different locations throughout the city of Washington, D.C., as well as some events that take place nationwide that are being broadcast, what's that called, via satellite throughout different places throughout the country. And after the conclusion of that march, the keynote speaker will be President Barack Obama. And that will be next Wednesday, the 28th. And there's information on it everywhere. Just Google March on Washington, and that is the event for next Wednesday. This coming Sunday, the 25th, is a bunch of different events that have been scattered throughout the National Mall area, from Lincoln Center back to the Capitol. And there are different music performers and things like that that'll be out there on that Sunday, as well as the museums will be still open as well. On Saturday, that will be another March on Washington that is being co-sponsored by the King family and the King Center. And that is the one that, we actually be participating in both, the one on the 28th as well as the one on the 24th. But the one on the 24th, who's going to be there? I think Martin Luther King III, Steny Hoyer, Nancy Pelosi, and Congressman John Lewis and many others that will be there in attendance on Saturday as well. So there are many events, and we want to encourage everybody to take part in as many as you can. Don't just pick one or two. Just if you can go and spend time at every event, do so. We would encourage you to do so. There's also the I don't think it's the actual bus, but it's one of the a replica of the bus that Rosa Parks was told to, get up and move from, and kind of kicked off some of the civil rights movements as well. It's through being, I don't know if it's working now, but it's in and around DC, and they've got a mock-up. There's a lot of things for students inside of the bus, so that way they it's like an educational ride.
Relive
exactly
what Rosa Parks did at the time. And for those who are watching the news today, we want to remind you that these events, the themes of these events is for all Americans,
right.
Black, white, Hispanic, lesbian, gay, bisexual. It is
young and old.
Old. I mean, there's something for everyone, I would say. You want to talk a little bit about that? The biggest push
I think both of them are encouraging those to push forward on jobs and justice. And I believe also the one on Saturday encourages freedom as well. So the biggest push for both of them is jobs and justice. So.
Right. So for those who are watching and like, well, I don't know if this is anything will be there for me. You should still come out if you can.
It's taking a part in history. So I think it's more than just something going on in DC that I don't know nothing about. It's really taking a part in history and learning from how we got to this point. From, was it 1963 to today? Mm-hmm. That was a long time. So it's really learning
before
about
we were born.
Right.
So again, if you have an opportunity this week to participate into next week, go ahead, take some time with the family and come out to these events. You will not regret it. The second thing we want to talk about with the news this week, and this was something that Renee brought to my attention, and this deals with the Price is Right.
Price is wrong.
Price is wrong for some people. If you are like me, you grew up watching the Price is
with your
Right.
grandmama during the summer vacations.
On the summer vacations, 12 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. That's right. It was 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. Bob Barker with that skinny little microphone that he used to hold. But yeah, Price is Right was in the news this week, and believe it or not, a lot of people were complaining about the Price is Right and the fact that, bear with me, they have to pay taxes on their gifts. Renee, you want to talk about that?
I understand. You and I had a discussion on this yesterday, and I do understand that if somebody gives you something, depending on the value of it, you should pay tax on it, and I have no problem with that. However, those that, like you said, we grew up on the Price is Right. They don't give you money that you can use to turn around and pay taxes on other things with it. They give you stuff. Like you'll get a lifetime supply of rice-a-roni. Why I got to pay taxes on rice-a-roni when I don't even eat it? A stove, random item, a grandfather's clock. They always giving away a grandfather's clock in every episode, and a boat and jet ski and everything.
And a barbecue grill. You got it. Now you live in a high rise.
Right.
Okay. No yard, no air, nothing.
No balcony.
Concrete jungle.
Right.
And they give you go to the Price is Right, and you win this huge barbecue set. I mean, grills, got all the utensils,
and patio furniture
to match, and you're just like, what am I going to do?
But I got to pay taxes.
But you got to pay taxes, and the cars. Remember the article we were talking about with cars.
And I think the biggest issue for the lady in the article was the car, and I think she had to go. Some people have to drive up to 150 miles to a dealership near them. Like when you leave out of the Price is Right and you win that car, you're dancing around the car and everybody's excited, but you don't get to just get in the car and just drive off with it. They're just going to order you one at a nearby dealership to your home. Near you. So if there's no dealership that participates near you, they're going to find one. You may have like 10 that's like within a 5-mile radius, but if they don't participate, you got to go to wherever that nearest dealership is. And if you're in the DC area, I think the nearest one is like Pennsylvania or something. Wow. So you got to drive up to 150 miles to get a car that you may not even want or need.
Yeah, right.
But you got to pay taxes on that car before they're going to give you the keys.
Before you get it, you got to make sure you sign all that paperwork they're going to have. So the Price is Right. Now, I don't know why people were thinking that it was free, because we know there's really nothing for free.
Well, yeah, if you look at the writing at the end that scrolls up like that quickly, it tells you that you have to pay taxes on any item that you
taxes. So for some people, I guess the Price is Right.
Bob Barker should have been telling people, look, you're gonna win it, but you're gonna pay for it.
That's right, you're gonna pay for it. And the last story that we have this week, this one deals with the NFL's policy of purses. Now, when I go to the games, I'm just going to the game. I'm just going. And I don't have all this stuff that I'm taking with me. But
no, you don't have all the stuff.
For the women and the purses, this is now becoming a serious issue with the NFL now. The NFL is saying that this for security reasons, that they want women to have very small purses.
And see-through purses.
And see-through purses. The purses need to be see-through. But Renee had some thoughts on that.
Everybody knows I've been to several sporting events and several indoor stadium type events where they'll ask you to unzip your purse, open it up, and they'll either wand it or kind of dig through it a little bit to see if you have any kind of weapons, guns, knives, things of that nature. I'm kind of thinking it's a little undercover. They want to make sure that you don't bring in a hot dog or your own pack of peanuts or gummy bears or whatever into these sporting events. They want you to spend $25 on a pack of chiclets from them instead of bringing in your own for anything. Because everybody knows stadium prices now have gotten like ridiculous on any kind of, even a small pack of M&Ms now like $10. So they don't want you bringing in any outside items. They want you to use what they have, which is why they want you to have a clear bag.
So they can see,
what you have in there.
Renee's logic, so they can see through and they can make sure that you aren't bringing in that.
Because it's so
that
easy to have whether I have a giant purse, and I can understand maybe downsizing from the giant, purse that you can hide a 3-year-old in to a smaller purse, but still, again, if you feel through it, you can feel a gun, you can feel a knife, you can feel a pocket, pocket knife or a utility knife or a thing like that. You can feel a grenade if it's in my purse, or you can just have me open it up and reach through and see it or wand it. If nothing comes up, I should be free to go regardless of what else is in there. Like if I want to bring in my own hot dog, if I can shove my own foot-long hot dog in my purse, that's my business, right?
Well, not according to the NFL and not according to the stadiums. They're saying that this is safety.
The men are saying, we don't bring nothing in.
Well, that's right.
We just have a wallet and some keys.
That's right. I don't bring anything in.
But some men, what they do is they hand their wallet and said keys and said phone and everything else to their wives to put in said purses. So I think the purse situation is bigger than just a woman bringing in, weapons.
Well, that's interesting. That was an interesting take on it. But again, the official word out of the NFL is that this is for security reasons, and we are trying to make sure that our stadiums and our fans are as safe as possible when they come to town to see RG3, or if they go up to Baltimore to see Joe Flacco in the game. Well, guys, that is going to conclude the news for this week. Again, if you do get a chance, please come out to the 50th anniversary to them on the March on Washington. Boston Law Group LLC, we will be participating in the events, and we hope that we see some of our fans down at the mall this week and into next week.
Come on out.
Come on out, everybody. Again, I'm Marcus Boston.
I'm Renee Boston.
Guys, thanks for taking the time to watch the news this week, and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.